You know, one of the main things cancer taught me was to enjoy my life and the things that I had, not take anything for granted, because, you know, at some point it could be taken away from you for no reason.
The reason to support Relay for Life is, this is hard to put into words here, but it's, you do not know the life-giving energy and support it gives to a survivor. Having cancer can be lonely. You can kind of feel like you're in your own little world and nobody understands.
You know, for those of us who are lucky enough to make it, you know, there's so much strength in the human spirit that we can overcome something like cancer. And, you know, if you need help, reach out. My name is Robin. I had nasopharyngeal cancer, and that was 14 years ago. I was in college when I was diagnosed. At that age, you kind of think that you're invincible, you know, that other people die, older people.
I am Gianluca Bettucci. I am 14 years old, and I had melanoma when I was 2 years old. Well, I don't remember much because I was only 2 years old, but I know that it was a very rare type of cancer, especially for someone so young.
My name is Gabrielle O'Neil. I have been a cancer survivor for 4 years. In 2016, through a routine mammogram and ultrasound, I was diagnosed with what is called stage 0 DCIS breast cancer. I have no family history on either side. The first person to be diagnosed in my family, so that was definitely a shock and surprise to everyone. But it also was a big wake-up call to my family and my friends, because it just goes to show you that no matter what, you can be that one person.
My name is Dave Fernandez, and I've been a cancer survivor for 4 years. I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma on September 9th, 2016. So I'm about to start my 5th year as a survivor.
Hi, my name is Tim Christian. I am 54 years old. And in 2017, I was not feeling good when school started. It was August, and we were having a first chance or back to school dance. And I was sweaty and broken down. So on that Friday for that dance, I was like, if I have to come back to this dance, I gotta go home and take a nap. I never came back. So that Saturday I was diagnosed with a testicular germ cell cancer.
Hi, my name is Blaine Mauldin. I'm the ACS staff partner for the Relay for Life of North Peninsula, and I'm also a cancer survivor, so this event, this cause, and this foundation are very important to me. I was diagnosed with cancer in the fall of 2006, so almost 14 years ago. Thankfully, after a few surgeries and 3 rounds of chemo, I was deemed cancer-free in February of 2007, so I have been cancer-free for 13 and a half years now. As challenging as the diagnosis and treatment and stuff like that was, my most kind of challenging time with my cancer experience happened after I finished my treatments, and I was basically told to go home and just kind of sit and wait, and I didn't know what my life would look like moving forward, how healthy I would be, but thankfully been cancer-free for 13 and a half years now.
I had to make that decision to come home and to give up that independence that I really treasured. And so I moved home. My parents took care of me, and really it was for the best. I couldn't have gone through that treatment and gone to school at the same time. The chemo I went through 6 rounds, and ultimately, even though I did get sick from that, it wasn't that bad. The radiation, on the other hand, was brutal. But I made it, I gained back my independence and my strength. It certainly took time, and I had to be patient with myself. And I think that was the hardest part, You watch everyone else around you and they're leading their normal lives. And how do you get back to them?
I was pretty resentful at first. Wait a minute, what about my plan? How are we going to do this? And all of a sudden, it turned out that you aren't in control of your life. Somebody else controls your life. But what you are in control of is what you can do with every day that you are given.
What it meant was that things are more real after that. And the hang-ups in life they're just not hang-ups anymore. And so to come in and to be able to do my job, I just felt more free. And I think through that freedom, I think I become more creative, and I think I become more loving. And I just have been able to connect with people more freely. Cancer was just a part of my thing. It isn't all of who I am. And so I've really been pleased with all the people who have cheered me on. And it's funny because, whenever I try to use the cancer card, nobody really lets me get away with that. And I'm like, why not? They're like,
People right now are also going through the coronavirus struggle, and that can be a lot worse on patients already going through other cancer treatments, because sometimes it weakens people, and it can be a lot worse if they get coronavirus.
Right now with the global pandemic and COVID situation, I really feel for the people getting those diagnoses. Being in the hospital, not knowing if you're exposing yourself to something that could be really harmful. One message I really want to share is just thanks and appreciation for everybody that hasn't directly been impacted by cancer, but chooses to make the battle theirs, whether it's for a loved one, a family member. You're fighting our fight, and I know that I appreciate it, and I'm sure that every cancer survivor, patient that you're here for really, really appreciates your support in this fight.
My one message today, not only to say that I'm thankful to be a breast cancer survivor, but also is to say, don't put your screening aside. Get your mammogram, get checked, whether it's, for your breasts, for skin, for anything that seems abnormal. Not knowing is far worse than knowing and having options.
Relay for Life, it gives life to the people who need it the most, which is us survivors.
It's been an incredible way to meet others whose lives have been touched by cancer. And I want to give that back, to people who aren't newly diagnosed with cancer, and to support them and help them understand that, there's so many of us out there, sadly, but we're here for you.
Research anywhere helps patients everywhere. So any breakthroughs that can be made, regardless of where it's at, could change the entire fight against the disease.
A platform, a place to come together and to celebrate or to grieve the triumphs and losses that people have gone through with cancer.
So I'm happy to share my story. I am a survivor. Thank you, Relay for Life.